living in a world gone geek. It's time to geek hard or go home. The podcast is real. Here's your host, Grounded Geek.
I already ran into technical difficulties. The thing didn't swap over like it was supposed to. Welcome, everybody. It wouldn't be our show if we didn't have some technical difficulties at the beginning. We're grateful that you guys are here. Welcome to the podcast is RealLY Live here from World Gun Geek, a pop culture entertainment group here to spread the love, spread some geek love, share our passions and do some community good to kind of change the world for the better. Tonight is very special. Tonight is our season finale. This is our first season finale. We actually celebrated doing this show for a year back in May because we started this right when the pandemic started. And this is the end of our first season. We're going to take a little break, but we're excited to have some special guests with us here tonight because we wanted to go out with a bang. We wanted to have really a special time for you guys, and we're grateful that you're here. Before we get started, I got to obviously bring up my co-host, Aaliyah. Hey, Aaliyah, how you doing? We're giant. Let's bring this down here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I got braces. I don't need everybody all up in the grill.
A little invasive, a little close, but
yeah.
No, welcome. How you been?
I've been good.
Yeah.
You know, life's been a little crazy, but been good overall.
Always,
how are you?
Yeah. I'm good. Unfortunately, Utah couldn't be with us tonight. I think he's going to join us in the audience. We'll hear from him, I'm sure, in the chat and in the comments and things. But yeah, he's home with a sick little one. So our hearts go out to them. We hope he feels better soon, but we're grateful that you guys could be here. So our special guest tonight is a group called FREEDAPS. And they are, I've been a huge fan of these guys for some time. They're an improvisational comedy, rap, music group. They're amazing. They make stuff up just right off the spot. And they're going to do some of that for us here tonight. We're going to find out a little bit more about them. I'm knocking my mic around and find out how they got started. It's going to be great. So they're going to join us in just a few. They're going to be our replacement co-hosts, I guess, since we're missing out with Utah. We're going to talk about some pop culture and all that kind of fun stuff. But before we do that, I do want to throw out some of our fun endorsements. Of course, we always want to remind folks to go check out John's Crazy Socks. John's Crazy Socks is where I get my crazy socks. I love this store. It's online. It's a great father-son initiative. John has Down syndrome, and he runs this company with his dad. And you can go get some really crazy socks. johnscrazysocks.com, which is the place to go. He has a sock of the month club that you can join. And when you buy your socks, you don't just get socks. Like, it's sent with love. He puts a personalized note in there for you. He sent me a little package of Skittles with my socks. Like, he really takes care of it. It really adds a personal touch. Please check them out. John's Crazy Socks. We do not get any kind of affiliate action from them at all. We just love the company, and we want you to check them out. So if you use promo code WGG for World Gun Geek, you will get 10% off. Tell them World Gun Geek sent you. So that's awesome. All right. Well, before I do want to point something out. I don't know if you noticed that I'm a little bit red, like probably more red. This is not a color. It's not a camera problem. So, all right. So I work. Well, you know, but because we both used to work there together. I work for a radio station as a part-time gig as well, and we had an event, a couple of events this weekend, and yesterday I was out in the sun from 10:30 to about 8:30 at two different events, and I did not put on any sunscreen at all whatsoever. It was actually one of the hottest and sunniest days in Cleveland. Rained all day the day before, rained a lot today. But it was perfectly sunny and beautiful. I forgot to put on the sunscreen. I don't know why. I mean, part of me thinks that it's because we've been stuck inside for like a year that I forgot how to outside. How do you outside? I don't know. Like, it's just like, this is our first time going out and doing stuff. I mean, we would go places, but it would be indoor, go to work, go to this, or go to church, or to go to the whatever things I'm going to. But this is going and doing like outdoor events. Events have been closed. There's been nothing. So I'm a stupid person. That's basically
You
what
are not a stupid person.
I am. So burnt. It is so bad. Like if I take off my watch, like no, it was just yesterday. So it's going to be bad though. It's going to be really bad. But I debated on which background to use tonight, and I was going through them. I felt like I blended in too much with this one, so I couldn't use that. I had to do the
spray tan vibe.
The geek layer instead. So here we are. But yeah, that's what's been going on for me this week. What's been going on for you? Anything exciting?
No, not really. I tested positive for COVID again, so.
Oh, did you really?
I've been in quarantine mode, so haven't really been doing too much, but it's okay. Like my quarantine days are up. I'm fine.
Yeah.
I went out last week for like a Juneteenth celebration down in Coventry, which is super awesome.
Awesome.
You know, got to see some live music and stuff. So just working on healing my body, and
it's tough with these live events. Like it's like we know like things are getting better, but you know we still have to be careful out there, and so yeah, it's tough. But that's awesome. At least we're I mean I was out at the other these events yesterday, and who knows what's going on. But you know we just got to be safe and do the best that we can. But yeah, that's sounds like fun. What kind of stuff were they doing at the festival?
So for Juneteenth, they were doing like live music. And yes, Utah, I was in Coventry. I apologize.
Yeah.
Don't be mad at me.
You could have said hi. He lives right near there.
I didn't know. I don't know where you live. So not stalking you. Yeah. So they were doing like live music, live paintings, and just really celebrating African American culture and Black culture in general. So really wanted to go out and show some support. I took my younger sister and ate some good soul food and listened to some live music. So It was really sweet. And sorry, like Utah, next time I'm in Coventry, I will definitely let you know.
Yeah. Oh, wow. No, that sounds like a great time. Awesome. And for those of you who aren't familiar, we're coming to you live from Cleveland, so that's an area of Cleveland. So a lot of you are like, "Where's Coventry?" I don't know where that was. But yeah, it's in the Cleveland area there. But awesome. So again, since we don't have our co-host with us, and he is in the comments, there's Utah over there. If you're watching us live, you can chat with him down there. So he'll just keep popping in from time to time with text comments. But that means that we're going to jump right into our guest. We're going to get right to it. These guys, again, like I said, are hilarious. They are freestyle, improvisational geniuses who put together rap. They're musicians, TikTok famous, basically, guys. They're doing like all this really, really cool stuff. And we wanted a chance to kind of get them on the show and introduce them to our audience as well, because we think you're going to love them. So let's go ahead and bring them. It's FREEDAPS. There they are. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hi.
Hey, what's going on, y'all?
So go ahead and introduce yourselves so everybody knows who you are.
Yeah, well, I'm Isaac.
And I'm Jordan.
We are two of FREEDAPS.
Yes.
Yeah, we're excited to be here. You got us on the season finale. I didn't even know that.
Yes.
I feel like Anya Taylor-Joy for SNL this year.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we're constantly both told that we look a lot like Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, we get that.
I was gonna say that.
I always telling people I wasn't in Queen's Gambit.
Yeah. I knew it was going to be the season finale, which is why I told you we had to skip last week. We were completely free last week, but I was like, no, you didn't want to be on that season finale.
You wanted us to be that thing of like when the end of a season teases a new character for the next one, because we are the new co-hosts.
Yes, we are the new co-hosts.
Out of here forever. Goodbye.
Ooh, cliffhanger. It's a big Josh.
Yeah.
Dies off screen, and now we're back.
What shows would be? I guess Sherlock did that with Moriarty.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Hi.
Yeah. That was great.
So I was going to play a video. In fact, I still can, to just give people you guys sent me a clip. I'm going to do that real quick, just so people can get an idea of what you do and what to expect as we go throughout.
Some brief fun.
the episode. Yeah, this was a fun clip. You guys, with special guests, you guys had Mega Ran on the show, which was pretty cool. So we're going to play that clip, and then we'll come back and talk about you guys for a minute. Sure. Here we go. All right, here we go.
I think would actually be really funny is a wrestling battle where Mega Ran and I are on a team against you guys. Yes, so people who know everything about wrestling versus people who know next to nothing.
Okay.
That was decent, chump. You about to get kneed in the face like you were CM Punk.
What does that mean?
Yeah, because you came and you ain't crazy type, but you're about to find out what a real fight is like Dana White.
I don't believe you.
I'm still as lethal. I'm Macho Man Randy Savage. Only Macho Man you know's the Village People. Yeah. So right now that's how we end then. Randy Savage, I'm about to snap into you like a Slim Jim.
My rhymes are off and dope. You think you're off the chain, but I'm off the rope. Yeah, and now you know it's no other. Bro, I'm about to knock you out, brother.
Brother, I'm so real. I gotta face you and show you I'm the heel.
All right.
Anyway, yo, you cats can't stop me. You can't even eye me. I'm big like Great Khali.
Oh, that's too funny. That I gotta admit though that Macho Man, those bars were probably the best right there. Listen,
I very shallow knowledge. Very shallow knowledge.
I literally know nothing.
Mega Ran, honestly.
He did the great thing of he was like, all right, I don't know a ton about this topic, so I'm gonna like level up how I flip it. And I sort of forgot to do that, and I was like, I know nothing about the topic, so I'm just gonna be a free bird.
just a real, arms wide open, seeing what the world has to offer for him.
Which is not how to win a rap battle.
Well, you channeled a little Hulk Hogan there at the end of your bit there, I think, Isaac.
His brain at the very end was like, "Oh, brother, that's a thing."
That's a thing somebody says, right?
Well, it actually took me a second to even, like, you hear me do this long, like, as a pause. And the reason is my head said Hulk Hogan, but me and my dad and my family are so obsessed with the Rocky movies that everything I could think of for Hulk Hogan was actually his character Thunder Lips.
Yeah.
So I was going to do, like, I'm going to break you in half like this, or like whatever, everything he does in Rocky 3. And so I was only going to reference that. And in my head, I'm like, no, that's not who he is. And it took me like that extra second to get to brother. A little inside the science. I was thinking of the wrong wrestling character by the same actor.
That's so funny. So what you guys were seeing there is, so these guys, right now, you guys are doing these shows on Twitch. At least I think you're doing twice a week, right? Tuesdays and Fridays. What's that?
And chat-based.
Yeah. And so basically people just throw out suggestions in the chat and you guys literally watch the feed. I mean, that was like you guys were doing a battle about a topic there, but so you do that as well. But literally you watch the feed and just whatever random, and there's some really random things people are throwing in there.
Yeah.
And you just rap about it. But you guys also do some live shows. You guys have been at Orlando Magic Halftime. You have done Disney Springs, I think Universal. Is that right? Also, tell us a little bit about, I guess, how you got started, both individually, like this passion, obviously, and then how you guys met and formed this group.
I mean, our passion for freestyle started the way a lot of people's did, watching like 8 Mile and seeing some rap battles on YouTube and stuff like that. But I mean, it really kind of galvanized when we met. The two of us were both really interested in freestyling specifically. Yeah. And so we just, I don't even know if we talked about it, but we just kind of naturally decided like, oh, we both like this. Let's both get really good at this. Like, also, let's find people who like this and get really good at this.
Yeah, and like there was obviously the traditional like hip hop influences, but we were also theater kids. So like, Whose Line Is It Anyway? Was a big influence of like how to bring the humor and the real spontaneity into it. Yeah. So just really similar influences. And then when we met and discovered that we were both doing that, we just kind of clicked.
Yeah, and so we actually found a place in Orlando, not necessarily a hub for hip hop in general, but Orlando has some of the best freestyle rappers in the world.
Surprisingly, it is a hub for freestyle.
There's a lot,
like pre-FREEDAPS existing,
yeah.
And I feel like I'm proud to say that we are now a big part of it still being a hub.
Yeah,
and
so there's this place called Austin's Coffee, which every Monday night for 4 hours, a DJ would just spin beats, and you would line up, and you would go up, and you would rap for 2-3 minutes, or until you messed up, or until you felt like getting off, and you would do that, and then you get right back in the back of the line and come up again and practice. And so we did that for years, and that's kind of how we got into it. And then from there, started performing live. We opened for Heath, who had some elements of freestyle in his show as well, because he and Red Cloud, who is one of the earliest
Google
people.
all these names.
Yeah.
Heath McNeese, Red Cloud,
freestyle legends.
Yeah, Manchild, Matt Ills, Supernatural.
Those are guys that we looked up to, and so we were doing that, performing a lot and opening up for Heath and freestyling together. And then Isaac connected with a theater, the local improv theater here in Orlando, and started working on a show that was part improv, part freestyle rap, the elements of battle rap. We came up in battle rap. These people came up in improv, but they were good at musical improv, and kind of honed this show that had the perfect mix of both, and started doing that on the road, started doing it. I mean, honestly, started out for tips on the street. Like we were up in Canada with a bucket, touring and performing and getting tips from people on the street.
It was wild because we were on the road playing, shows of our own music at either hole-in-the-wall bars or youth groups, or going to an improv theater to teach freestyle, or doing a rap battle, or we had all these other rap jobs. And we were getting to the point where it was going well enough to get us to the next city or to keep us on the road, but never enough to have really anything left over when we got home.
Yeah.
The first time we actually were able to pay some bills or come home with money was freestyling on the street with a bucket out. And we've done it various places in the US, but it was in Canada where it was really well supported.
Canada respects street performers a lot more than.
Well, go Canada.
Interesting.
You could just stop at Canada respects way more than that. In general.
Yeah.
Respectful culture.
It's the only country I've been to so far where you will see cars stop in the middle of a block to let people cross where there's not a crosswalk. Just like there's hey, it looks like somebody wants to jaywalk. I'm going to stop all the traffic.
All right, there you go. Have a nice day, right?
Yeah.
Go
That's
Canada.
Throw money at them just in case they're a street performer.
Yes, exactly. Throw a couple pennies, right? No.
They were in the street. So who
Exactly.
knows? They could have been.
And from there, we kind of scrabbled together an audition video because Disney Springs was looking for street performers there.
This is credit to Jordan.
It was literally the last day we could submit audition videos. And I was like, I don't have a video, nor do I have video editing software other than I have Windows Movie Maker. And so I literally...
The industry standard.
Yes, the industry, classic Hollywood moves. And so I literally just scraped a bunch of videos of us on YouTube, edited them down to just short clips of us freestyling, sent it in. And a month later, they were like, come in for an audition. We did an audition.
Then he had to find these clips by putting in keywords that might come up in videos that people
locations
took of
that
us.
we had.
Cell phone footage from Canada,
Yeah.
youth groups and stuff.
Yeah, and so somehow they were interested in that, and we came and we auditioned, and then for a while we had 5 nights a week at Disney Springs, and it's been a little things have been a little different for the live performing community in the last year and a half, but hope to be back there. And from there we did Universal Studios, and from there we did we still have a relationship with the Orlando Magic, and we toured comedy clubs and colleges and corporate events all over the country, and it's a blast.
And it was when we got the offer to do a show at Universal when we were already at Disney Springs, just the two of us 5 nights a week at Disney at the time. And then Disney was like, hey, we want you guys to create a show for us that'd be 3-person show 7 days a week in the park. And that was when it was like, okay, this is now more than just me and Jordan kind of on the road figuring it out. Now we need to like incorporate. So we became an LLC. We were able to bring in our talented friends and find new talent as well that could do that mix of freestyling well enough to hold it down in any hip hop setting, but also have the theatrical instincts and know how to adjust to any crowd and tailor something and, you know, keep it clean and those kinds of venues. Anyway, that we built our team then, and we've been doing it ever since. Yep.
So now, when did Heath come on board? Then was that at that point, or who was he, like the third member, or did you? Because I know there was a couple of other guys.
We actually had a team before Heath. Not that we didn't want Heath, but Heath was on the road touring heavily. Sure. I mean, that's kind of where he you know was making most of his money and doing most of his work on the road, and then it grew. The show grew, and we were getting, we were still trying to do gigs at other places, and Heath had a little bit of a window, and we were like, well, come on down, man. We'll train you in the show the night before, and come to Universal and do the show for a week, see how you like it.
And he was the only guy we knew that was good enough and had the chemistry enough that we knew we could just be like, hey, so this is what we do in the show. You're ready to start tomorrow. Yeah. Whereas it was like boot camp for the rest of our company. They're talented guys, but as a collective, we had to figure out what the show looked like and develop chemistry. And, there's a lot more to it than just, I want to rhyme about that thing. There's based on the game, you need to know how long you're rapping for with your partner. And if you're, again, I'm going to say words that aren't going to make sense to general audiences, but are you target rhyming or free flowing? Are you packaging it as a battle rap punchline, or as a compliment, or as a like flirtatious line for a love song, or do you just need to make a kid laugh? How do you dance around this tricky topic? Also, when are we throwing to the hook? And when we interview people, we're going to do these 6 questions in this order, and you and your partner need to go down the questions together so the audience can follow along with the references, because if you're jumping all over the place, the audience isn't going to remember what you're pulling from. And so how do you establish a theme before expanding on a theme? These are different things that we had to work on collectively. But Heath was part of the foundation of us getting on the road and freestyling in a major way. So we just knew that this was his bag as much as it was ours.
Yeah. And so from there, he enjoyed it, and we were getting enough work consistently in Orlando that he was like, well, I'm just going to make this my main thing for now and see how it goes. And so he's, we're still doing it a few years later. So
when did you guys know that this was something I want to do full time? Was it when you guys were in Canada? What was that breaking point?
So when it came to freestyling, probably when we started seeing that doing a fully freestyled show had this magical effect of grabbing every kind of person. People that never would have connected to hip hop before, we're now building this bridge because it's improvised, because they are now connected to it both in theme, because we might be rapping about them, or even if we're not, they're there for the moment of it being created. So that was a magical element. But also those that know hip hop or do rap, a lot of rap artists that say I write but I don't freestyle, they understand and have a respect and a reverence for the craft of freestyling as well. So when we were like, wow, every age group, little kids, grandparents, doesn't matter where you're from, as long as you know enough English to get what's happening, it connects. I think that's when I knew with freestyle, this is what we need to lean all the way into, because there's a magic to it. But when it came to just rap and performing, I'm very fortunate. Most people don't know what they want to do until, oftentimes they're mid-late 20s or even later. A lot of people go through all of college without figuring it out. I quit all my school sports teams in 10th grade because I needed more time to work on my rap career. And that's what I told my coaches. And I was chubby, rosy-cheeked braces, extra high voice, and not a good rapper. And which is why I needed the time.
We're so glad you took that time, Isaac.
Yeah,
so glad.
But I just knew. So yeah.
And you've competed in freestyle. I've seen some of the videos out there.
Yeah, you know, we're in the battle rap community, and we're doing that even before we had a fully freestyle show, honestly.
Yeah.
And so that's still a love of ours. It's still something we try to take part in. And yeah, I mean, but combined, we've probably won 20, 25, 30 different like freestyle rap tournaments, not just battles, but tournaments.
Not to get like high on ourselves, but the amount of times that we've had to meet each other in the finals of freestyle tournaments.
We always
you were versing each other.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how did that go? Well, especially because you guys work together.
What?
Especially because you guys work together, you know each other's chemistry, and you're like,
It's also our least favorite battle because it's like, well, this is nothing new.
We've done it so many times. And the temptation is to make fun of things that I know about him personally.
Yeah.
But the thing is, in a freestyle battle, no one else knows him like that, really. And so
I have to do the same glasses jokes.
And I have to make the same ears jokes or whatever, about Isaac. And so it's like, I feel like I'm treading old ground, but the only way to get people into the battle is to be like, yeah, you see this guy here? Let me point out the things that everyone is seeing here that I've been looking at for the last decade and been making jokes about, because we roast each other mercilessly on every long drive between shows.
Yeah.
So I've been making those same jokes for a decade now, and they just want to hear them.
And it's funny, I've especially in the last few years, but I've been the more active battle rapper, but I definitely have a losing record against Jordan. Like there's a fairly large, or at least expansive, battle rap league called No Coast, and I hold their freestyle rap title, but I wouldn't if they knew how often I lose to Jordan.
So
they make me nervous. Freestyle battles make me nervous, so I don't do them very often unless I'm in a real good mental headspace.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
I feel that.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like, I can't even imagine. Like, when I watch some of those, like, I'm nervous for you guys or any of the content. I'm just like, because this leads to my next question. Like, just that you're able to come up with that stuff so quickly, and so like, I think about, like, I watched Whose Line Is It Anyway too. I love that show. Like, I love improv. Like, it's just, I adore it. I never would be able to do it the way you guys do, because of the fact that, like, my problem is, you know, I'm a kid. I have kids. I'm a dad, so I make a lot of dad jokes, right? And so a lot of times I'll make a joke, and then I'll make another joke that worked with the last joke, and then I will zone out while everyone else is talking, because I'm trying to think of that third joke. There's something, I know there's something else that's going to go with this. And by the time I get it, no one's talking about it anymore. I could never keep up with how fast you guys like are able to just bounce off each other.
It is a muscle. So the fact that we just do it all the time, and anybody can work that muscle. We teach workshops and stuff.
Yeah, we do teach classes.
But the other thing that's interesting, and there's two things that you said that make me think that you would naturally be better at freestyle rap improv than like scenic acting improv. And I'm serious, and for two reasons. Here's why. I'll start with the most recent thing you said, which is that you would like go for a joke, right? And then you would try to find like another tag to it, another tag to it, another tag to it. That is essentially what a rapper does when they're freestyling and improvising. What they teach, and I'm not very strong in just acting improv. Jordan is. He does a lot more of it than I do. That's not my strong suit. I feel a little awkward and out of place without a beat to like focus me. But they teach in the improv classes we've been a part of that you never go for the joke. It's really just an honest reaction, and you let the funny come up naturally. So it's never about like, I have a punchline. But your instinct to make a dad joke is the same instinct that I have, and that's what you do in rap and freestyling. That is where it's all about go for the joke. So it's a completely different use of the improv muscle. So your instinct leans more towards rap, and also the fact that you do dad jokes, which is wordplay and pun based. Watch any rap battle. Watch the biggest million-view rap battle, Smack URL, King of the Dot, Don't Flop, Grind Time. I'm dropping battle rap league names for the listeners at home. Watch any of these big rap battles and really break down what people are reacting to. It's just a dad joke. It's a pun. But they rhymed it and aimed it at somebody.
And generally, it happens to be about a gun or a knife or something like that. But it's still it's a dad joke about a gun or a knife. Like that's literally all it is. It's a bad pun, but they rhymed it well enough that you forgot that it was a bad pun.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'm not too old to consider a career change then.
Yeah,
I could,
good job. Good all the Aaliyah. Aaliyah seems to have this whole thing handled.
Yeah, we can just turn this over.
Right into the rap battles. Just jump right in.
It's funny because my family calls me on it too. Like they can see me working. Like like it'll get quiet and we've all moved on, and one of them will be like, "You're trying to think of a third thing, aren't you? You're trying." And I'm just like, "Yes." Like
we used to make fun of Isaac because Isaac would zone out for 5-10 minutes at a time, just thinking of another line. Like if there was a rap battle coming up and it was a written one versus a freestyle one, he would be sitting there and we'd be like, You thinking of bars for Diligent right now? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, now do you think? And he'll come back to earth eventually.
Yeah,
that's great. Yeah.
See,
go ahead, Leah.
I don't rap. I write poetry, which I know is literally very similar. But I am very much with Jeff. I don't know how, like you were saying, I understand it's a muscle, but you speak so fast. Like how do you know what you're gonna say prior to even knowing what's in?
All right.
That I know that doesn't make sense what I just said, but
it totally makes sense because that's what we deal with in our classes. And the main thing is first off, everyone knows how to rap or how to rhyme at the very end. Everyone knows how to rhyme. You ask we do shows at libraries for 4-year-olds, and we ask what rhymes with cat, hat, bat, rat. Everybody knows how to rhyme. Then it's just a matter of recalling those rhymes slightly faster every time. And so you get used to it. And the more you're pushing yourself to freestyle, the more your brain is like, oh, your brain is storing these things away. Like that syllable or that word rhymes with this syllable or that word. And it's just storing that away. And it's about just doing it so much that your word bank is large enough to pull for a very long time. And then you just decide what joke you want to make, what play on words, like what Jeff was saying, and you say something that rhymes with it first. A lot of people make the mistake when they're trying to freestyle or improvise something. They'll say the thing they want to say first, and then they're like, and I need to find a rhyme for that, and that's where they struggle. The thing is you know what you want to say, and you leave that for the end. Like if you've got a joke or a punchline, you say 1 or 3 or however many lines you want to lead up to that, and then you end with your punchline. And so it's a matter of just letting your subconscious rhyme with it until you get to the point where it's like, and now I want to make the joke.
Yeah. And like what he said with the rhyme bank thing, you're always, when you're practicing freestyle, you're either doing 1 or 2 things at all times with your internal rhyme bank. You're either learning to pull from it faster, because you're getting out of your own way and you're trusting that you know the rhymes. You're either pulling from your existing rhyme bank faster, or you're expanding your rhyme bank as you discover and stumble into new rhymes. Mm-hmm. So if you're saying something you said before, or not even that you said before, but that you recognize as a rhyme that comes to you quickly, that's recalling from it. And then when you're pushing yourself to rhyme with words and phrases and sounds you've never tried before, you're expanding the rhyme bank, which next time you have that same rhyme sound, you'll be pulling from. So it'll be a recall.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's the part again that just fascinates. That we were just in the example we played a little earlier, the whole Macho Man thing. Heath was like in your face rapping, and so again, like in my mind, again watching Whose Line, all of these, I'm wondering when are they thinking of that what they're gonna do? Like I'm thinking like, while Heath is doing that, Jordan is thinking of what he's going to say, but I'm assuming, but I don't know, but because you also still know what Heath said. Like if I try to do that, Heath is like, bah, 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 like the Charlie Brown teacher. And then I'm like, I know what I'm going to say now.
That's absolutely a skill that you have to develop over time. And that is one of those things that is hard to teach. That's more of an experience, just doing it. Because the thing is as soon as I know what I want to rap about, the way we've designed our shows and the way most rap battles go is it's 4 bars at a time. Like when you're going back and forth like that, it's 4 lines at a time. And so you need 2 punchlines in there generally to get the most impact out of it. Mm-hmm. And so generally I'll have already thought of 2 punchlines by the time Heath has finished his first or second line, or at least the general idea of the punchline.
Yeah. You at least kind of know the word or phrase that you're going to target, and then you trust yourself to get there and set it up right.
So I probably haven't heard Heath's first 2 bars or Isaac's first 2 bars.
Yeah.
But then by the time his second bar is done, since I'm not thinking of the full line, I'm just thinking of the joke I want to make and trusting my brain to fill in the rhyme gaps. Those last 2 bars, I am listening. I'm like, all right, is there anything here that's worth throwing out one of these lines that I already have like constructed in my head? And so you go from that into listening to those last 2 bars, and then you kind of have to make that decision in the moment. Am I responding to this, or am I just going to go with the two punchlines that I already have in my
One
head?
of the secrets, say you're on a theme, so like we'll go with the wrestling clip that you did. So like if somebody told me to rap about wrestling right now, if I wanted to do it in a battle setting and set up punchlines, all my brain would be doing is creating a list. I can almost see it visually of every word I associate with wrestling. It just kind of goes down the rabbit hole. So wrestling, ring, knockdown, WWE, Hulk Hogan, John Cena, The Rock, People's Elbow, whatever. You know, I'm making this list.
Those are the 6 things Isaac knows about wrestling.
That's it. And Cold Stone Creamery, Steve Austin.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
everyone's favorite wrestler.
Yep. Wrestlerant. So
some are good, some aren't good. You know, you throw them all out there and see what sticks. Right?
Yeah, I just wanted to give Jeff his third joke. So
there you go.
So you just have this list in your head, and you're literally just setting up each word going down the line. If I needed to rap for a minute about wrestling, my first 12 bars would be those 6 words all being set up. And when you kind of know how it's ending, you've given your brain an extra like split second to contextualize it in an interesting way. Because I'm not like, oh, how's the line going to end? I know that it's going to end with John Cena. So now I can set it up by saying, like, you can't see me. Or it's weird that I'm in Fast and Furious now. Whatever. And, and then
it is weird.
That's awesome. So we're a little over halfway through the show, and I feel like we need to give folks another example. We saw the video, but could you guys do something? What should we? What can we give you? We only have a few people in the audience, so I don't know that doing the comments would necessarily work. How do you guys want to do this?
Stuff you want us to? Actually, you know what, Aaliyah? I want. Let's learn about you a bit and what you like. So we know that you're in Cleveland right now. Are you from Cleveland? Are you from Ohio?
I am not, and I'm from West Virginia, same place as Jeff, actually.
False flagging in Cleveland. No, you're from West Virginia. Awesome, I love it. And let's see. Do you got a favorite TV show right now?
My favorite TV show forever. I don't know if you guys watch anime, so it's kind of hard.
Give it to us anyway. We'll work with it.
Más o menos.
That's my favorite thing is when I don't know something. And it's like, all right, I'm gonna rap about this, even though I know nothing.
Naruto.
Naruto. All right, yeah. So you like Naruto? Do you have a favorite food?
Yes, it is spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
I actually just wish you'd left it at yes. Do you have a favorite food?
Yes.
Should have had you guys like guess.
That's all I asked.
Yeah,
I did not ask what your favorite
you're right. That is very true.
We appreciate you for giving us extra. That really does help us out.
Yeah.
All right.
We are originally from West Virginia.
Listen, if you mention the braces, I will fight you.
All right. I will not. Right. So you don't need to brace yourself. Yeah, you know that she in the pizzeria. I'ma keep you, but you know we got Aaliyah. Yeah, now she is at home. See me on the throne. Her name is Aaliyah. I think Aaliyah alone. Hey.
Yeah. So you know you want one, buddy. Aaliyah just asking, are you that somebody?
Nice.
Yeah, so you know we get it in, bro. Yeah, you know she repping Duffy, West Virginia.
Yeah, West Virginia is where she's this evening. And then she was leaving to go to Cleveland. Yeah, that's right. Now you know that it's the best. I'm from regular Virginia. You're the Kanye West. Hey.
Oh, yeah. Left West Virginia because they wasn't down with the Harrisburg.
Hey.
Yeah, all right. You know how with the hardest flows, I'm throwing new jujitsu's like Naruto.
Yeah, doing our Naruto run until it's done. And that's where I go to Area 51. Yeah, it's what I plan to say after they see me on a Saturday. You know I get animated like anime.
Yeah. I can spit like all day. I'm a little bit like Kanye mixed with Sasuke.
Nice.
Yeah, you know, I fail not, but I come through and I call on my Hokage like a nine-tailed fox.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'ma bring it heavy. This is wrapped out of my noodle like it's spaghetti. Yeah. Now I'm the awesome boss, even though Jeff's face is red as pasta sauce.
Yeah. That was pretty neat, y'all. I be on a roll like spaghetti just with one meatball. Yeah, we got this in common. Because right now they say spaghetti's just Italian ramen.
Italian ramen, because that girl's all neat. And that's the reason that we're chilling here with World Gone Geek. Yeah, and we got the dope flows. If you don't know, I'm going loco because we're the new co-hosts.
Yeah, you can rock that, you feel. You can't top that to seal. Yeah, you can talk back to eels, but I just gotta say, this podcast is real. Hey.
That was awesome.
That was so good.
Cool.
That was something
Wow.
like
Wow.
Those were some good references for not knowing like a lot of the Naruto and the run. And
anime, so I absorb it.
There you go.
And then when you're on Twitch long enough, everyone apparently
Sure.
like 60% of the people on Twitch like anime. So
That
osmosis.
was good. That was great. Utah's
All right.
giving you guys the claps.
Is that what that is? I couldn't see tell what it was. Like that's appropriate, isn't it? I want to make sure. I had to look closely.
So you're from Virginia, or was that just something you just decided to?
just something I said.
Okay. I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Family and friends and everybody, like, words made me do it. Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Real inappropriate, but like it meant two things. So I was like, words made me do it.
Or say,
Yeah.
things that I don't necessarily personally hold, but if it makes for a funnier line, I'll espouse that opinion.
Words made
As
me
long as
do
it's
it.
not harmful to
Words
others.
made me do it. Wow.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Wow. And then
Oh
I
my
liked
gosh.
your line about Jeff's rosy cheeks. Like the
Yeah,
pop
that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Jeff tried to back out. He's like, I don't want any lines about me. I'm a
Well, no, you'd asked all that about Aaliyah, so that's why I was like, we'll just put her on.
No.
Yeah, that was one of those things where like it's one of what we talked about, where when you know what you want to target, you can like set it up how you want. And I didn't feel like I fully got like clicked in that particular rap, but on that line, all I knew was I was like, all right, I just said spaghetti. What else? Pasta sauce. And then literally all my brain is doing is saying I need to make pasta sauce funny or interesting. And I was just lucky that by thinking of red and then remember Jeff's comments about sunburn, but that was like. I wasn't planning on doing a Jeff line. I just planned on doing a pasta sauce line. And
It's crazy.
Yeah, all I could picture was Jeff's rosy face.
yeah.
That's crazy how that works. I mean, I just every time you guys go, I'm just like awestruck at like how you're able to just come up with this stuff. It drives me nuts.
Sorry,
Go
I
ahead.
have another question. Who you mentioned this earlier? Who are some of your hip hop influencers?
That's exactly what I was getting ready to say too. We're on the same wavelength.
I mean, you guys mentioned, Kanye West, so
this Utah's comment though. I had to show it.
Yeah, definitely make pasta sauce interesting.
There we go.
Yes, and it's funny because his nickname at Olive Garden is Never Ending.
Yes.
But yeah, musically, Kanye, especially early Kanye's first 4 or 5 albums were huge for us as music makers. And when it comes to that side and just MCing, I mean, my favorite rappers are like Royce da 5'9", Black Thought, Eminem, Lupe Fiasco, J. Cole. And so they influenced how I like wrote and approached music. And then when it came to freestyle, it would have been battle rappers. One of our closest friends, who's one of the founders of Grind Time Battle League, Matt Ills, is just a out of this world phenomenal freestyle battle rapper.
We had him on our Twitch stream Tuesday night.
We did, yeah. And so we work with him a lot, but seeing him in person really inspired me. A lot of other battle rappers like No Can Do, Disaster, Thesaurus, Iron Solomon, Illmaculate. Yeah, a lot of these guys. Charlie Clips is still really good.
Fun. DNA is a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, so these are like battle rappers that we would watch and say, okay, we need to be at least that good on the freestyle side. So yeah. How about for you, Jordan?
For me, on the like writing rap side, I would say MF Doom is a big one.
Rest in peace.
You know, Eminem, Lupe, Black Thought, Royce, all the guys that he said, along with Ludacris and yes, indeed, and Andre 3000 are probably some of the bigger influences there. And then, like you said, battle rappers, Hollow to Dawn, Thesaurus, and even before that, like we said, Red Cloud, Supernat, Manchild, Plato. Those are dudes. There weren't a lot of dudes early on who were really focusing on like freestyling, and not just freestyling with lines that they thought of beforehand, but freestyling about people in the crowd, making people a part of the moment, which is why what we do works. We like to think that we're really good at this, and we've worked really hard to be good at it, but the best thing about it, the thing that really connects with people, is that the show isn't about us. At the end of the day, the show's about you. And you just became the star of the show for however long we rapped about you, and that's what we love to do, and it's why we hope that it continues to bring joy no matter where we do it, no matter how long we do it.
If we're being completely honest, it's about you, but it's for us.
Yes, it's just to make us laugh.
Like well, at least half of our lines are just to make each other laugh. But yeah, it's funny. Speaking of influences, I'm just remembering in middle school. And throughout my school years, I was really involved in like church events, and there was a group at school called Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and we would have these rallies. And I remember in middle school, they brought in this rapper named Genesis. I remember him in the Discovery Middle School band room, and he did his songs. And then after the show, he was off to the side, and I wanted to meet him because I wanted to be a rapper already. And he was freestyling, and I was throwing words at him. And it was the first time I'd actually like seen that with my own eyes. So shout out to a rapper named Genesis. I don't know what he's still doing. But yeah, I remember I gave him like the word.
Still freestyling in middle school gyms at that.
It's we ask for words all the time at our shows, and we sometimes roll our eyes at the ones we get all the time. And one that we get all the time is chicken. And I'm just now remembering that I absolutely gave that word to Genesis. Because I remember I said it.
That's a bit of a karmic feedback.
It really is. Because his punchline was like, I'm going to beat the devil down with a piece of fried chicken. And in my head, I was like, whoa!
So I am curious.
The reality of doing that. Sorry.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
No. I was making a bad joke. Continue.
Series of dad jokes, right? So I am curious if you guys have ever wanted to be on Wild and Out, just because I feel like you guys would be very good at it. And I'm like, sorry if you guys get this question all the time.
No, we get that a lot, and understandably so. Here's the thing: there are a few people on that show that can freestyle, that can truly freestyle in the moment.
Charlie Clips, Corey Sharon. That might be the end of the list.
Yeah. And the thing is most of them aren't freestyling. There are writers for the show. They've got the topics ahead of time. And the thing is and we know the writers, so we're not making that up. Yeah. Like we know some of the people who have written for the show, and it's a fun, funny show. But
it's a good show. It's just not freestyle.
But what we do and what we enjoy about what we do most is the spontaneous element of it. The writing of it, or having time to prepare, kind of takes the joy out of it for us. And so it's just not been the most. I mean, I'm not going to say we would never do it, because it is a great platform, but it's not the most enticing thing for us. It's not like our goal. Our goal is to make something similar to Wild and Out, but something that is completely freestyled in the moment, all about what's happening right now.
It would be fun to be on it, but it would feel more like being in a school play.
Wow,
it's kind of like that. So like Lin-Manuel Miranda has a show on Broadway now that does that. It's Love Supreme, something like that. Freestyle Love Supreme. Well, he's not actually in it right now, but it's coming back, and bro, I was just seeing that. And Wayne Brady is coming in. He's going to be a special guest. Daveed Diggs, like all the Hamilton, connections and whatnot. What do you guys think of that?
That would be more like what we would like to do. I disagree with them, just because they've clearly got their own team of guys that we actually did get to freestyle with Jelly Donut, who's one of the main guys in the Broadway production.
He also leads their school, so we were able to connect on both being freestyle.
Wow.
Yeah. And so we got to meet and freestyle with him, and that was a blast. It was so much fun. But yeah, that's what they're doing, the thing that we respect most about that is they're on one of the highest live entertainment platforms you can possibly be in, and they are freestyle. Yeah, they're making it up front to back. We can tell, we know that, and that's encouraging to see that that's becoming the thing that people are wanting to see more and more and more. And so, and they've been doing it for a long time too. Like they've been in New York in the comedy community for, probably 10, 12 years. And so to see that paying off for them is great as just fans of the art form, and encouraging for us to be like, oh, now it translates a little better, because one of the hardest things for us is getting people to understand. They're like, well, it's just a rap show? And it's like, no. It's not a rap concert. We didn't write anything. And they're like, oh, well, so you're going to curse, or how can you be clean, or how can you be entertaining for that long? And now it's like, no. It's on Broadway now. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's on Broadway. It's fine. It's totally fine.
It's a proof. It's a form of proof of concept. And what we respect about them is that they actually are trailblazing the craft by putting it in new places where it hasn't been. And something that was cool for us was last time we were in New York, the theater that we played a show at was the original home theater of Freestyle of Supreme. We didn't even know that until our sound check.
Yeah.
And so that was pretty cool. So we always want to like pay respects to those that really do freestyle and try to push the art form forward.
Yeah, like Utah said, they've been doing it for a crazy long time. It's great.
Yeah, that's
great
really
to see
cool.
The work paying off.
So, all right, we're coming up on time here. I wonder if we can get you to do one more performance, if you would. I would love to see a rap battle of some sort, like you guys go head to head. Yeah, I don't know what it should be about. I mean, so our show is all about what people are passionate about. Like, our philosophy is everybody is a geek about something. Whether you're a sports fan, there's just because you're like, if you're into sports, you play fantasy football, what's the difference between that and Dungeons and Dragons, right? We're all geeks about something, right?
Oh, it's a stat roll. It's a different kind of stat sheet.
When I go to a Browns game, I get decked out and I'm wearing a jersey, even though I'm not a player, right? So I'm cosplaying for football.
Every time we go to a Magic game, we just stand up and go, nerds!
Right?
Way to go, losers. And we say the losers part not because they're dorks, but just because the Magic lose a lot. So.
Yeah, very, very, very quick sidetrack that you reminded me of, because when it comes to like heckling at a sport event, so I went to an Orlando Solar Bears game, which is like a minor league hockey team that we have, and I went to the game a few weeks ago, and our team was playing terrible, like awful, and it got real quiet, and all the heckling had stopped, and then one guy just yelled, "You're playing hockey!" And then we scored.
It just needed a reminder.
What we're doing. Yeah. Although, and to be fair, as a person who suffers from ADHD, sometimes that's all it takes. Sometimes just a quick reminder of the thing you're supposed to be doing is very helpful.
Yep. Yes. And me and the person I was at the game with, I was on a date, and we still together. And so every like event where it can possibly apply, not hockey related, we yell, "You're playing hockey."
Yeah, fantastic.
At some point, I'm going to do it at church if the pastor's slacking.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
So Utah wants to know if
he's throwing a few suggestions out, maybe for the rap battle, but I think a couple of these actually would be just good questions off the top of it. So for each of you, are you DC or Marvel?
Marvel.
Yeah, if we're talking film, and I'm a huge cinephile, it's definitely Marvel. Grew up a big DC fan.
Okay. How about Star Trek, Star Wars?
Both are very up and down.
The overall canon, Star Wars. The movies in the last 15 years, Star Trek, barely. I've enjoyed a lot of the new Star Wars movies, but I feel like all three of the new Star Trek movies are really, really good.
Yeah. I'm going to answer this. It's not a perfect metaphor, but on our Twitch channel, we were once asked pizza or calzones. And my answer was, at their best, calzones, but consistently pizza. And I would say that Star Wars has the higher highs, but consistently Star Trek is good.
That's pretty good. Yeah. And I was asking those obviously just to get to know your kind of like what you nerd out about, but also if one of you said something that the other one didn't, that might be a good rap battle. But you both seem to sort of agree.
We could do Marvel versus DC. I could take.
You think you could throw that together?
Wow,
I think that would be
great.
pretty fun. That's our
Especially with the new
wheelhouse
Loki
right here. Yeah, Loki.
Loki. I didn't. Yeah.
All right, let's do it. I'll do DC. You do Marvel.
Okay, sure.
Let's go.
Let's do it. And we like this beat, but we don't normally use it for battles. Let's try it.
All right, let's go.
This is more of a trap tempo, so you're gonna see the rhythm change. So
Let's
they're
go.
keeping up with the science.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah. Yeah. You don't even want to start with us. My bars are just too hard to cuss. Funny that I got Marvel, you're startled because I'm marvelous. Yeah, now I got these grays. Now you talk just change. No, it's funny that I got these grays because I am the new freaking Doctor Strange.
Hey, they see me, wanna buy my CD, see me in 3D, but you know I'm gonna witness. Justice League like this was DC, yeah. I came with a hard fight. You know that my bar's tight. Batman on y'all. About to give just do the Dark Knight.
You about to give me a Dark Knight? Nah, I don't like your plan, cause I am grand. I'm Spider just meeting Iron Man. Yeah, that's grand, but you know that I'm glad that my friend came. I could beat you in an Infinity War, but this is your end game. Hey,
This is my end game. I'm about to finish tonight. Yeah. Cause every time I rap, you Superman, well, I am your kryptonite. Yeah, I'm kryptonite. Juno, I be stating. If you think he's winning, then like Superman, you caping.
Superman, you caping, but you think that that's the answer? Funny, Superman is just a weaker version of Carol Danvers. Yes, that's right. You know it be awkward. I'm Dee's father. I'm chilling with Sam Wilson and call me Steve Rogers. Hey.
Yeah, I have to just clash. Yeah, I'm having a blast. Yeah, I'll be back in a blast. No, wait, I'll be back in a flash. Yeah, cause right now you know that you could barely challenge me. I can beat you quicker like I'm freaking Barry Allen.
Yeah, you want to see what doing it worse is? You said the Flash, but we got Quicksilver in 2 universes. We got Fox, but you ain't no competition. It's funny, you can't do Long Division disappear. That's WandaVision. Hey.
WandaVision. I think that's a mean answer. I still got the ring. Call me the Green Lantern. Alright, so this dude is funny looking, but you know I come with bands on top of bands like Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman, you don't know me, homie. You're a Thor loser. I'm a Hulk smash. You keep it low key. Yeah, I don't have to stop. Ragnarok. Yeah, and this guy is stuck. In this battle, you're about to get Snyder cut.
Bro, feel the flow. Right now, I'm about to knock you off a punchline, killing joke. Yeah, I'm the Joker. Yeah, but don't ever make me start again. I bring the bat to him, but not Bruce Wayne. I'm like Harley Quinn.
Freaking Harley Quinn. But I'm going up the mountain, and I flow like a fountain. I'm gonna get a new costume. You can call me the Falcon. That's true. MCU won't even see DC. Y'all are so bad, every movie gets a re-release.
Yeah. That's how I rock, fam. Dude, DC acquisition. Yeah, me, you want to watch, man. Yeah, that's how this man rap, and I am captain. But right now, I see everything. I control the game like Doc Manhattan.
Nice.
Wow, that was great. Good job, guys.
That was good.
Thank you.
That was pretty epic.
That was great.
I was trying to figure out how, like, again, like if you're a Marvel fan, like how do you guys decide who's going to take what when it comes to something like that?
Yeah, I like which side or when it comes
yeah,
to
like how do you because you just kind of said I'll take Marvel and Jordan's like, oh, I guess I got DC.
I mean,
yeah,
just roll with. Yeah, you know, if I call it,
I was gonna call DC.
Yeah.
And then he called it, and I was like, all right.
Sometimes it's you just want to challenge because I'm not as familiar with DC recently as I am with Marvel, and sometimes it's just like I know a little bit more or I know a little bit less, but I want to challenge myself, and I've got a funny idea, and I'll push it the rest of the way and see what happens.
Yeah, and literally, I'll be like rapping, but also regretting connections that I didn't think of in time. Because when he said Green Lantern, I was like, oh, that can go back to, I already said Carol Danvers, and I can rhyme Lantern with Danvers, which also would set up Black Panther. And like, as soon as the beat was over, I was like, I didn't think of it in time.
That's another thing that I feel like would be frustrating. Like after you guys like finish one of those, again, like me, like a half hour later, I finally got it. Like I was like, I wish I'd have said this. I wish I'd have said that. Do you just kind of store those in the bank? Maybe we'll do that rap again later, and I'll have If it ever gets suggested, you've got like some go-tos.
Absolutely.
Something that happens too is when you're given a topic that's so broad, or that you're so passionate about. I remember we were doing raps at a Comic-Con, and I got so excited because I was asked to rap about The Princess Bride, which I can like quote the whole movie front to back.
I love Princess Bride.
It was one of my worst freestyles because I'm thinking of all of the parts of the movie at once, and I'm just stumbling over like what to pick from. And you start like having these, your mind goes blank. And that was a little bit the case. I don't know if you were having the same thing because there's so many DC characters, of course, but pretty much everything I referenced, I had just finally been like, oh yeah, that character in my head.
Yeah.
Like
For me, it was easy because I'm not as familiar with DC recently, so I was just like, just hit the Justice League.
Yeah.
And so I was able to not narrow it down just a little bit and be like, all right, play within the Justice League, or like, the main Justice League members.
Yeah. Whereas like again, when the beat ended, I was like, oh, there's all the Guardians of the Galaxy. I forgot that. Yeah. When he said Washington, I started thinking of X-Men stuff, but then the beat ended. Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, guys, thank you so much for being here. I want to make sure before we let you go that you have a chance to tell everybody like where they can find, tell them about your shows and and more information, all that stuff.
Yeah, grinder.com/
yes. It's a group profile, actually. It's the first project because of just our cloud on the internet mostly.
Yeah.
But honestly, you can find us at twitch.tv/freedaps every Tuesday and Friday night at 9 p.m. Eastern time. It's a lot of fun. It's usually an hour to an hour and a half of just freestyling every comment we see. Honestly, just rapping. Then we'll do a little Q&A and then back to rapping. That's a lot of fun.
And we have guests, and it's fun and it's loose, and
and so that's fun. And now we're in Orlando, so keep an eye out if you're in Orlando or in the Central Florida area. We're trying to book some shows here. We're about to go on tour. We'll be in Texas in August. We'll be in New York in September. So we're really excited about that. But also follow us individually on TikTok and Instagram. It's Keys, ITSKEYES, and I do mostly acoustic, like folky, pop punk comedy stuff.
So I'm gonna throw out there real quick, just as a reference. So yeah, both your TikToks are just hilarious. I follow both of you.
Thank you.
But some people might recognize because your Me Want Bite kind of went crazy viral.
Yes.
And I think that's where did it start on TikTok? Is that where you first did it?
That was a TikTok thing.
And in fact, when I first, kind of my kids were watching this the other day, and I showed my daughter one of those. She has seen that one 100 times, but didn't know that you were connected, that you were in FREEDAPS. And so it was like, that was that my dad connection. Like, oh, look, we connected, one of these guys that you follow. It's like, well, now you can follow FREEDAPS. It was so fun. But,
and I do love that.
She had no idea.
Yeah, I love that because like our Twitch and our following as far as freestylers is a lot of not older people, but it's more adults and more just people who saw us either at Disney or saw us at their college or saw us on Twitch and stuff like that. But TikTok is like a whole other audience of people where it's like there are kids seeing the stuff that we're doing, and sometimes I've had a couple people who are like, I saw you when I was 10 at Disney, and now I'm 14 or 15. This is so cool. Are you that guy? And it's like, yes, I'm that guy. That's so wild to bridge those worlds.
Yeah. I agree with that. And going back to like, where to find us. I'm also on TikTok at I'm Isaac Knox. Also, if you want to see some of like the best of, if you don't want to go digging through like a year and a half of TikTok stuff, we're currently reviving our YouTube channel, which already has a ton on it. But a lot of our best of work that we did throughout the pandemic is going to be uploaded in like compilation form and in highlight form up to YouTube this month. So follow FREEDAPS on YouTube.
Yes. Search FREEDAPS on YouTube.
If you guys are in Cleveland, you should definitely let us know.
Yeah, I performed at the Cuyahoga County Fair a couple years ago.
No way.
What?
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah, doing our freestyle show.
Well, see, I can't believe that. Yeah, that you were in my backyard, literally. So every time I sometimes have to travel for my job, and several times I've been Orlando, and I go to Disney Springs hoping that I'll run into you guys, and you guys aren't in town, or you're not, you're out on the road, or I've never been able to connect and actually see you guys live. But
bro, next time you're down here and you're here on a Tuesday or Friday night, just come through the studio. We'd love to have you.
Be live audience.
We've had a couple of live audience members every once in a while, so come through.
Yeah. Well, there's no telling when we're traveling again for work because of this, with everything, but probably not until next year. I think they're kind of holding off, but yeah, we have conferences and stuff that I have to go to down there. So I would definitely, that would be awesome. But I thank you so much. And those of you who are checking them out on YouTube, don't forget, like they have a Christmas album too, that is like a staple in our house every Christmas in our,
Check
in our playlist.
Or YouTube, whatever you want.
What do I get my dad for Christmas is one of my kids' favorites. It is so funny.
It is the hardest question, though.
That beat earlier that we did in the middle of the podcast. The beat we used to freestyle about Aaliyah was
because we want freestyle to that beat.
That was the same one. And then the other is Santa, You Are the Father. That's a pretty funny one too. Heath goes so hard in that one. Like it was like
man. He goes all in on that one.
It's pretty fun. All right. Well, thanks again, guys, for being here for our season finale. We appreciate it so much. Again, I'm a huge fan. I'm kind of fanboying all evening, just that you guys came on. So thank you again for that. In fact, this isn't even being broadcast anywhere. I just wanted to spend this hour. No, I'm
understandable.
But no, we really.
If you get your own private show, and also no one has to be subjected to all of the nonsense we've been saying tonight. So.
I guess, yeah, that's how it works. No, I really appreciate you being here. And for those of you watching, again, like this is our season finale. We're going to take a little break through the month of July and August, but we will be back for San Diego Comic-Con. We're not going to be in San Diego, but we're going to do our San Diego Comic-Con special in July.
And we will be here every episode moving forward because, as you said at the top, we have replaced Utah.
Every Sunday.
What's that?
Sorry. I was gonna say you have to say greetings programs because
that's how he. Yeah, it's his
greetings programs.
Yeah, that's his catchphrase.
Greetings programs.
All right, that'll work.
I'm gonna use
yeah.
Programs.
Yeah.
So, you pick which one's better and let us know.
Well, we will be back in September for our full shows again, September 5th. And we have a lot of cool things. We've got a couple of new shows premiering on YouTube in the coming months. And then finally, we're going to premiere We're Going Back, which we gave a trailer for a few months ago. We're finally going to come back. That's going to start releasing on a monthly basis in September as well. If you want to find out more, if you want to be able to kind of be first to hear and see all of this, make sure you're following us everywhere at World Gun Geek on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Where else are we? We're on Instagram. We're on all of those. Yeah, so please follow those. We're going to be giving away a Stadia Pro in that first episode too. So we're trying to get to 1,000 followers on a couple of different channels, and when we get there, we're going to give away the Stadia Pro to one of our followers. So make sure you're subscribed and you do all of that. That's going to happen in September, so we've got plenty of time. We'll be spitting out more information as it comes. But again, I want to thank you guys for listening. It's been another fun and exciting episode of The Podcast is Real. We're going to miss you guys for a couple of months, but make sure you're subscribed and follow, so when we do launch those special episodes, you won't miss it. That's the only way where you're going to be able to keep in touch. So thanks again, FREEDAPS. Thanks, Aaliyah.
Thank you.
Utah, we missed you. Hope Tycho feels better soon.
Utah.
We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.